Hello traders, Day Trader Matt here of businesswithtrading.com, and today I wanted to bring an S&P Market Analysis video for the week. Today is the 20th of February, and I wanted to talk about a couple different things with the market right now. And you can see this is from our last video. Price did come up, it hit initial resistance and just rolled over, breaking support and just continuing down. Now I want to highlight that for a couple reasons. First of all, we have our analysis, and as traders we have our analysis, but the analysis does not always pan out. Sometimes things happen, prices break down or run through a support and or resistance level, and we weren't expecting it. And that's why we have backup plans. We say, okay, well, think the market's going to support this area and then push up. But what if it doesn't? So if it breaks down, and this line right here I drew for today's video, this line was the first line of support that I had drawn. And you see price ran down, ran through it, and ran down to the next area. So when it breaks down a support region, it depends on how important that support region is, because you could get short or you could just stay out of the market completely. And those are both good options. If you think the market is going to go even lower once it breaks a level to the downside, because prices always go down faster than they go up. You can see this went up, it took quite a while, and then once it came down, once it broke this first level and came down, it took a week and a half-ish to come all the way down here, from up here to down here. And from here to here took, it was a lot more of a struggle. That's what I'm trying to highlight. This was more of a struggle. This was not really much of a struggle. The market just fell. And that's what I'm trying to highlight. Whenever it breaks down, you really just need to know your levels. Be in tune with your analysis. If this happens, that happens. I was a programmer when I was younger. I still am, for hobby reasons. I don't make any money on it. Just why? So you learn if then. If this happens, then this will happen. If that happens, then that will happen. And that's that's basically what this is, an if-then statement. If one thing happens, then B will happen. If C happens, then D happens. So that's basically how we approach our analysis. So let's get into where we are right now. So price came down, bounced up, came back down, and then shot up violently. And then it staggered around, and now it's up here. So it came up and it hit the bottom of the support that we were looking at, which now is resistance, obviously. So where do we think the market's going at this moment? So I'm predicting about 100-150 point range for the next 3 weeks to a month. And, basically consolidative action is what I'm anticipating. Will that happen? Who knows? We'll see what happens in the future. Since we don't have time machines, this is the best we have. So we're looking for price. This blue box is the first support region. It can support here, and if it does support here, there is still a chance it can come up and take out these highs. If it comes back, I would say in the bottom third or into this box, then there's a very good shot that it will be a consolidative month. And that's really what I'm anticipating. There's a small chance that it can go up to highs. There's an even smaller chance that it just breaks down and sees a new low. I think the I think the highest probability at this moment is it chops around, comes inside this box. It could come below it slightly and then back into it. That's possible. But I'm just looking for some choppiness, and then this high to be broken, and then from there probably some more choppiness, and then there's a possibility that after it chops around that it comes down and breaks this. That's possible. If it depends on how choppy it really is. So where, if it's going to break this low. But if it were to break this low, I would look for maybe 50, 100 points on the downside below this low. If it doesn't break this low, I would think it would just chop around and chop around. So either way, I'm looking for a choppy month. So we'll have to really take a wait and see approach. What happens to the market? Up here is obviously going to be a strong resistance zone. We could just take this blue box out into infinity. Can't think of that word for some reason. So that will be our resistance, 2760 to 2808, we'll call it. And then from there, on the downside, this yellow or tan box, whatever color you want to call it, it is in the yellow family, but it kind of looks tan, sort of, on my chart. So if we draw that out, I'm going to go with 2620. It's close enough to 2670. That's what I'm going to be looking for on the downside. 2600, just because it's a whole number, is going to be important, and that's why I said price could get below and then come right back into the box. I would not be surprised if that were to happen. If it were to just hold inside the box and then break up, I would not be surprised if that happened either. So that's basically what I'm looking at. I have the blue box on the chart just because if price does hold, it can actually move up, break this high, and actually start looking a little more bullish. That's not my primary outlook, but it is the second possibility. The first one being a consolidative month, the next one being possible bullishness, more bullishness, and obviously it can break down, but that's just not what I'm looking for at this moment. If it were to just turn around and break down, I would be shocked. But the market does weird things from time to time, and it is what it is. So that's really what I'm looking at. We'll take a wait and see approach, but pretty much I would say 2600 to 2808. I would think we would see the majority of the chop within those numbers, and possibly at the end of the consolidation we could see a move down just to end the consolidation and then start the uptrend back again. So that's what I'm looking at. If you guys have any different opinions, put them down below. Would love to start a discussion. If you agree with me, comment below as well. That's what these videos are for. These videos are to try to help out everybody who watches them, but also help out myself. It allows me to get my thoughts on paper, so to speak, obviously, but get my thoughts down and get my chart out there. And it really gives me a way to look at the market, rather than saying, okay, I think the market's doing this, so I'm just going to trade it. If it works out, good. If not, it is what it is. Rather, I have a more fluid approach, saying, okay, I think this is what's going to happen with the market. Right now, I'm unsure, so obviously I'm not trading it at this moment. I have some longer term trades on, but I'm going to wait and see what actually does happen with this. And this week should really give us a little bit of more clear of an indication as of what's going to transpire in the coming weeks. So that's really what I'm looking for right now. So I'm waiting for price to do something here, and from there, we'll see what happens. I did get out of some longs earlier today, and we'll see what happens. I think it will be an interesting rest of the month and an interesting March. So that's what I'm waiting on. Leave me your comments below. Love to hear what you guys are doing. Thanks for watching this video. If you like it, subscribe. I'd appreciate that. Have a great rest of your day. Awesome rest of your night. If whatever it's day or night where you're at this moment. Have an awesome rest of your trading week. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.